and loud. This is the Scooter McGee Show on News Talk 1310 KFKA.
The following program is closed captioned for the thinking impaired.
I'd sit alone and watch your light, my only friend through teenage nights, and everything I had to know, I heard it on my radio.
News Talk 1310 KFKA.
You've only got a couple of hours left. If you're going to pull a party out of your ass, you might want to stand up.
Hello. Thank you for listening to the New World Order Report with the Conspiracy Keepers. My name should not matter. What should matter is that the information presented here be given to everyone you know. We hope that you, the listener, explore the possibility that we are in fact being controlled by forces well outside the circle of decency and morals. A circle that is just part of the many symbols used every day to keep you in fear, in the dark, and uninformed. Our topic today, and every day, is the New World Order agenda. How do you know which societies are working with the New World Order and which ones are not? Find out now. Here come the Conspiracy Keepers.
Welcome back, Gotham, Metropolis, Emerald City, Xanadu, Babylon, and to the ISS and the rest of you. Hour 2 of 3 hours of intellectual intercourse, out-of-the-box discussion, a little ADD theater. And it's Thursday night with headlines for tomorrow, Friday the 13th. We'll take a look at some numerology coming up later tonight with On This Day in Illuminati History. Willie, by the way, Willie Whitefeather from last night, our original guest, will be rescheduled for next Wednesday. But if you missed last night's show, that's up on the YouTube for the Scooter McGee Show. If you're one of the first 500 subscribers there, have Merry Christmas. It's a $200 Visa debit or gift card. It was Old Chicago's. Old C's was nice. We switched it and just got a standard $200 Visa debit card. So if you're one of the first 500 subscribers to my YouTube page, you might be getting a little early Christmas present. And if you're a Facebooker, obviously at any social media, go to 1310kfk.com, download the TuneIn app. You can take us with you 24/7. Keep up to date on the local as well as regional and national headlines. And, of course, for all weekend, we got the sports. Joe Lanier is with us on the Greeley Westside Liquor Hotline. So, and again, in this hour, you're probably going to want a couple of shots. And according to my Bull of a Moon watch from William Moore Jewelers, we are now 8 minutes after the hour. That means you have 52 minutes to order. 970-353-0036. Let's get back to Joe Lanier. Joe, the discussion, I'm just popping back from the green room, sadly, Hannity's on, and there's the Weinstein scandal, etc.
Yeah.
And the video footage out in front of the SUV, and hey, just wanting a second chance. Hopefully I'll get one. Boy, it sure appears you've gotten quite a few over the years, but
Yeah.
you'd made, or you alluded to, that you had received a letter, and I don't know if we go directly into that or if you want to preface it and recap what you said in that last segment about these sex scandals in Hollywood, that it's just not Hollywood. Hollywood and politics,
right.
and Hollywood and the news, and the
Yeah.
Hollywood and the CIA, and the OSS, and Skull and Bones, and the secret societies, and I give you the floor.
Well, we talked a little bit about Charlie Sheen before, and we talked about what he was dealing with. He was a very high warlock, and let's look at what that term means, because we talk about the Illuminati and witches and warlocks. What does that mean? We think of witches as a broom, or warlock, something we've seen on Samantha Stevens on, a sitcom. All that means is when you get the Illuminati and you get to their minions, witches and warlocks are basically just stage hypnotists, and we know that works. We know that stage hypnotists can make people very highly suggestible and lower their critical thinking and make them highly suggestible to their music. So a warlock and a witch all that means is they have mastered this, what we would call hypnosis, but it's a little bit more deep than that because they can kind of control your mind if you allow them to do that. So a warlock or a witch just means that they can drop your critical thinking and make you highly suggestible to what they're telling you, and you will follow them kind of like they're a little god. Okay, so that's all that means. We know that exists. It's not science. I mean, it is science, but it's not pseudoscience. We know that exists.
It's interesting you bring up the 60s sitcom Bewitched, in that, of course, Uncle Arthur was the character played by Paul Lynde.
By Paul Lynde, right.
And the life and the lifestyle that he had.
Yes, right, exactly.
And yet again, he was a warlock, but he was more like a whimsical. I mean, they played him off as the practical jester, whimsical warlock.
Right. So casting a spell doesn't mean that they are doing something to you and you are now a frog. Casting a spell to mean these guys just means that you are now highly suggestible, and now you kind of like take their message in and you worship them almost as a god. So all rock stars know this. They practice this on stage. They know how to make the audience into a frenzy. We've seen it time and time again. I don't care who's on stage, whether it be John Bon Jovi or Michael Jackson. You see the girls crying, and they're in a trance because they're under that suggestible state that they've put you in. So that's all that means. As a warlock or a witch, they mean they can control your mind to some degree in that circumstance. Okay, so let's get to what we're talking about now is the molestation, which there's no other way to put it, rather be Bill Cosby or others. Now, one thing I think is interesting is I saw a article on, I think it was Yahoo or something like that, and it said, an insider goes into the Playboy mansion, and this is what they have seen. Well, let me tell you something. I have playmates on my on my Facebook page. Mm-hmm. I know a lot. I talk to a lot of them.
Harmon was married to a former one.
Yeah, right. I don't need to have somebody go inside. Right. I can just email them. I can instant message them, and private message them, and they'll tell me, this is what's going on. So that's not necessary. I know a lot of these girls. I know what they think. I know what they went through. Now, let's get to Bill Cosby and this Harvey Weinstein person. Now, one of the playmates I have on my Facebook, and she had sent this to me and all of her followers, her name is Victoria Valentino, and she was a playmate back in the early 60s. She's a grandmother now. She's in the early 70s. She has no reason to lie. She is one of the people that have spoken out about Bill Cosby because she is one of the ones that he molested. As a matter of fact, she talked about this openly on Facebook. He said that Bill Cosby invited her and one of her friends up to his Hollywood Hills mansion. This was back in the 60s, and he molested both of them. And once he was done, he told them to get a cab home. This is the kind of guy he was. So he's been doing this for a long time.
And I have that story coming off the Sun, and that's up on 1310kfk.com right now.
Okay, are we going to break?
No, I'm just telling you that.
Okay, gotcha.
I'm keeping up as fast as you can with links.
Okay. So anyway, she was one of the ones that testified against Bill Cosby, and not just her. I mean, we're talking about literally more than 100. So this is the letter that she put on Facebook for me and all of her friends, and I'm one of her friends. And she said, and I'm going to read this to you before we go to a break. She says, from Victoria Valentino, she says, an open letter to thanks to Bill Cosby in the recent wake of countless women pouring forth, having been violated, assaulted, raped by Harvey Weinstein. It's important to give credit where credit is due. She's being a little bit sarcastic right now, but her point is well taken. She says, and this is her letter she put out, she says, thank you, Bill Cosby. Had you not been such a masterful and prolific evildoer of atrocities against women, perhaps the floodgate of victims wouldn't have opened as widely and exposed as Harvey Weinstein did. She says, once again, thank you, Bill Cosby, for making the conversation possible to discuss the crimes of drugging and raping women to shift the world definition of what consent actually means. And then she says, thank you, Bill Cosby, for being the catalyst for the curtain to be pulled back on rich, famous, and powerful people in Hollywood and the abuse and crimes they commit. So she's saying this is nothing new. She's in her 70s right now. This has been going on since she was in her 20s. Then she says, thank you, Bill Cosby, for inciting activism for reform of archaic laws being changed or abolished in multiple states for the future protection of sexual assault and rape victims. I'm 100% sure that social reform and victim empowerment was the furthest thing from your mind at the time of 63 plus women who were being drugged, assaulted, and raped. She says these people that she knew about. So this has been covered up until now. Now, I don't know what Bill Cosby did to make somebody mad, to expose him, but everybody knew about this. She said she knew more than 60 victims. And then she says, to the women that bravely speak up, she says, thank you, and she puts that in all caps. She says, deservedly so, for showing your courage and your willingness to admit times in your life when you felt too weak, too vulnerable, and too afraid to stand up to the monsters that walk among us. And then she closes and she says, your courage will be forever the future as you lead the way for the next group of victims, survivors, to follow your path. And once again, she's not talking about just about Bill Cosby because she was raped by him as well. She talks about Harvey Weinstein. So my point is, she's in her mid-70s. This has been going on a long time. This is not something that's new. This just came out because, well, for whatever reason, these people fell out of love for the Illuminati, just like Charlie Sheen did, and now they're being exposed to destroy them.
Fair enough. We are 17 after, 13 to the bottom. A very quick break, and we will be back with more. Joel Lanier and myself, the Conspiracy Keepers. Backlash is having an open house. That's why he's not here tonight. Again, all three of us will be live in studio next Thursday night. Find us on the World Wide Web, conspiracykeepers.com or theconspiracyzone.org. And in the meantime, keep live and local radio alive and well on the planet's surface by supporting live and local businesses. A few of those will be mentioned in this commercial break, and we'll be back with more.
Become a friend of Scooter McGee or like the Scooter McGee Show page. More of the Scooter McGee Show in a moment.
What may be junk to you just might be another man's treasure. From stamps, sports memorabilia, silverware, or old jewelry, what may be junk to you just might be another man's treasures. Located at 2002 9th Street in Greeley, Another Man's Treasures can take these old items and convert them into cold, hard cash. Located at 2002 9th Street, remember Another Man's Treasure.
And now, a Sport Clips well-played moment.
Gentlemen, the human brain is a 3-pound question mark. Some say it can move objects just by thinking about it. Sport Clips agrees. Think about your hair getting shorter, and it will. A great MVP haircut experience with a hot steam towel, massaging shampoo, and sports on TV. Don't fight the thought. Come in, sit down, and look at your brain in the mirror and say, well played, sir.
Sport Clips, located in Fort Collins, Greeley, and Longmont, or online at sportclips.com.
You got a favorite t-shirt, right? Come on, admit it. You've got several. From killer concerts, the Grand Canyon, Vegas, and memories live in them. Create a treasure to remember with Windmill Productions. Years from now, you'll still be thanking Trevor and Kim for the attention to detail and quality that make the memories last a lifetime. Located at 813 East 18th Street, Windmill Productions on Facebook, Windmill Productions 914, or windmillprographics.com. Or give them a call, 970-702-2636.
Mental health and addiction issues affect 1 in 4 people. Most of us have faced a behavioral health challenge or love someone who has. North Range Behavioral Health Treatment Programs work. People really can recover and become stronger. They offer programs to help you and your family, no matter your age, in many Weld County locations, including crisis support services, a counseling center in West Greeley, and additional offices in Greeley, Frederick, and Fort Lupton. For information, call 970-347-2120 or in Southern Weld County, 303-857-2723.
So you think the Pawn Stars are in Vegas, huh? Have you been to City National Pawn? 3301 West 10th Street in Greeley, and you're the Pawn Star. With great deals on commercial and industrial tools, electronics, smartphones, laptops, and fine jewelry. So many great deals and a constantly changing inventory guarantee you get the best deal in town at City National Pawn. Need quick cash fast? City National Pawn has got you covered there too. Monday through Friday and Saturdays, remember, you're the Pawn Star at City National Pawn, 3301 West 10th Street in Greeley.
It's football season, and that means the Ernest Collins Jr. Show airs Tuesday nights at 6:05 on 1310 KFKA, live from Stuffed Burger Bar on the 9th Street Plaza in downtown Greeley. Join the head coach and me each Tuesday evening as we discuss Bears football. Your questions and comments are welcome on Twitter at UNC Bears Radio, hashtag AskTheCoach. Find me on Facebook at Troy.Coverdale. Or join Ernest and me at Stuffed Burger Bar in Greeley Tuesdays at 6:05. The Ernest Collins Jr. Show on 1310 KFKA.
Matt Rivette started in real estate just in time for the bottom to fall out of the market, and it turns out it was a good time to start. From day one, Matt Rivette had to do it right. Serve the client. Turn for sale into sold. 32 years later, we know market conditions will change, but Matt Rivette's commitment to you won't. This is a good time to get to know Matt Rivette at Pro Realty. List your commercial, income, or residential property with Matt Rivette. Call Matt Rivette at 970-356-1234 or go to ProRealtyHomes.com.
The following program is intended for mature audiences.
Marconi never could have envisioned radio like this. This is the Scooter McGee Show on News Talk 1310 KFKA.
Welcome back, Gotham. Still a lot of good to cover here. If you're just joining us, we are talking with Joe Lanier, of course, just one of the cast of the Conspiracy Keepers. Backlash LaRue is absent tonight, but he'll be with us next week with Joe live in studio, and we're going to knock one out of the park for certain next week. But Joe, you're on a roll.
Yeah.
And I want to recap Victoria Valentino right now.
Yeah.
That story is now up at social media at 1310kfk.com, so people can go. Again, you're making it up right now, Joe.
No. This is a letter that she had put to me and her Facebook friend.
On social media.
I'm friends with a lot of these women, and you know what's interesting to me is I have learned more from ex-playmates than I've learned from a lot of people, and I'll tell you why. Because a lot of these playmates, when they were younger, and a lot of them that I know are about my age, a little bit older, a little bit younger, but we're in the same age range.
Right.
A lot of these playmates have been associated with these so-called powerful men. And a lot of these men, these Illuminati men, think, oh, I just want something arm candy, she's not paying attention. These women are not dumb. They pay attention, they listen, and they learned a lot. And they will talk about a lot, later on in their lives what they've gone through. Now, there's another a woman that I talk to a lot, and she would not be opposed to me mentioning her name. Her name is Fauna McLaren, and she was the 35th anniversary playmate of all time, and she was friends with Rod Stewart. She's in a lot of his videos, and she talked to me a lot because we're on the same page about a lot of things about this Illuminati stuff, and she gets it because she lived it. And we're talking about Prince, and we both believe that Prince was murdered. She believes Prince was murdered too. And I asked her about what these rock stars do because she was associated with a lot of them, not only Rod Stewart, but a lot of different ones. And this goes back to the practice of ancient Babylon, where you would sign your soul to the devil, and you would do it in linen and parchment on a contract. And once you signed your name, that means that you have sold your soul to the devil, basically, or the record company, the people that own you. And I asked her about that, and I said, "Is that what they do?" And she says, "Yeah, that's exactly what they do."
No different than in the world of La Cosa Nostra with, again, what finger's your trigger finger? This one.
Yeah, and Prince did the same thing, and that's why when we see him, whether it be on the American Music Awards or the Grammys, he would have slave written on his cheek. Sometimes he would write it backwards, which means he's like looking out from it. So he felt like a slave. So he had signed his soul to the devil on linen, but he didn't want to be a part of it anymore. And it's like the Illuminati says, no. It doesn't work that way. You can't just get out whenever you want to. We own your behind. So he didn't get that. So once he sold his soul to the devil, it doesn't work anymore. So once he got the contract to his music catalog, he thought he was free. It's like, no, because the contract says upon your death, your catalog goes back to Warner Brothers. So Warner Brothers had every reason to want him dead.
Yep.
So when I talked to my friend Fauna McLaren, and once again, I mentioned her name because I know she wouldn't mind me doing this. She was friends with Rod Stewart, and she said, yeah, that's exactly what they do. So she knows firsthand. And so I talked to a lot of these girls and a lot of these men who just think they're arm candy. They're not. These women are very smart. They pay attention. They know what's going on. And Fauna even said, and she didn't do this just to me, she did it to her audience at large, to all her friends. She says, yes, if you're going to make it in this world, whether it be a Grammy or whatever it is, or an Academy Award, she said, you have to sell your soul to the devil. And she said, that's why I got out. So she knows. She knows these people. She knows these people that have Academy Awards. She knows Rod Stewart. She knows all these people. And she says, you have to sell your soul to the devil to get to that point. She says, I don't want any part of that. Right. And that's why she's still here now. I know. I know.
No, again,
I know.
I want to formulate the question correctly.
Okay.
So again, the same power players in being exposed for Vegas use a diversion of the sex scandal. And
yeah.
And for whatever reason, and I'm in complete agreement with you, Cosby pissed somebody off and, and they throw him under the bus.
Yeah, right.
Weinstein has obviously pissed somebody off.
Yeah, exactly.
And he's now under the bus.
Exactly.
And yet, again, as CNN wants to misdirect and, hey, let's go take a look at the California wildfires, I don't want to throw our good friend, mutual friend, Mike Nelson under the bus with the digitized radar photos of the smoke, but we can't discuss chemtrails. That'd be bad. But now the revelations of, again, sexual harassment at the highest levels at Amazon and Bezos, of the nouveau riche global elite as a if you would, perhaps, is it fair to call Bezos a warlock?
Oh, yeah. Well, absolutely. I mean, they all are.
Okay.
I don't care if it's in Hollywood or music or whatever, they all take pride in it. I mean, if you look at, like, Fleetwood Mac, Stevie
Nicks.
I can't think. What's her name? The lead singer for Fleetwood Mac?
Stevie Nicks. Nick Fleetwood or Stevie Nicks?
Yeah, right. Yeah, Stevie Nicks. Yeah, she talks about being a witch. So when these people talk about being witches and warlocks, really they're not fantasy land. They're talking about being expert in hypnosis with their fans, which we know, we know stage hypnotists exist. Yes. So that's not very hard to believe that they're doing this, and they're just experts at it, is what they're saying.
And again, through the use of symbolisms, whether it's the Super Bowl halftime show, the Grammys, what was it, American Music Awards? What was that?
Yeah, American Music Awards. Yep, yeah. They're under the same control. Absolutely.
Now, in this latest revelation of attempting to change the story and throw someone under the bus, it's to try and compartmentalize and keep the target in one position. But it seems in this case with the sex scandal, people are now seeing, because so many coming out, because someone has the courage first to speak, then others speak, then more speak, much like coming out of Las Vegas, much coming out of like Bill Cosby, much as what came out of Clinton and the whole scandal, Jennifer Flowers and Monica Lewinsky, and we don't have to discuss all of that stuff because, I mean, that was what it was back then.
Yeah, right.
And yet, the sheer volume of money that is in play, the hundreds and hundreds of billions of dollars controlled by these select few.
Right.
Joe, we're at the bottom, obviously.
Okay.
You've been with us 90 minutes. We want to do on this day, but how's your voice feeling? You sound good on my end.
I'm doing okay. I want to do one more segment, and I want to talk about the fires going on in California right now.
Excellent. So let's do that. Why don't we go, guys?
Okay.
Yeah, so let's do that. We'll go to the bottom break, and then when we come back, we'll let Joe finish up, then we'll do on this day, and we'll go from there.
Very good.
We are 30 after, 30 to the top, which means you've got 30 minutes left to order booze if you need it. I think this show is beginning to turn more residents into alcoholics than consumers. Yes, Greeley Westside Liquor delivering to all of Greeley and Evans. 970-353-0036. And again, if you go to Windmill Productions 914 on Facebook, you could be getting pint glasses to keep frozen in. Just get your booze delivered, drink them out of your pint glasses, wear your Scooter McGee Show sweatshirt, and live happily ever after. We'll be back.
Are you listening to the Scooter McGee Show? Well, misery does love company. Stay tuned to News Talk 1310 KFKA. 1310 KFKA's First Alert Weather, powered by Denver 7.
Clear skies overnight, low temperature in the upper 30s, partly cloudy and upper 60s on Friday. Saturday, mostly cloudy with a few showers and a high near 60. Clearing Sunday with low 60s. With your First Alert forecast, I'm Denver 7 Chief Meteorologist Mike Nelson, 1310 KFKA. This weather update is brought to you by CRP 4x4, located at the corner of 9th Street and 21st Avenue in Greeley. Call them at 970-351-8603.
America's Retirement Store in Loveland, 970-776-7500 or online at americasretirementstore.com.
Have the time of your life at the Union Colony Civic Center in Greeley, October 17th and 18th at 7 p.m. with the classic story Dirty Dancing. The film you remember is brought to life on stage. Don't miss the unprecedented live experience, exploding with heart-pounding music, passionate romance, and sensational dancing. Dirty Dancing live at the Union Colony Civic Center in Greeley, October 17th and 18th at 7 p.m. For tickets and more information, call 970-356-5000 or go online at ucstars.com.
The Nerd Store is now buying and selling used video games. The Nerd Store buys games for consoles and handhelds for Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo, and Sega at incredibly competitive buy prices. Sell your games for cash or trade them in for Nerd Store credit that you can use towards comics, board games, or other video games. Their buy prices are great, which means their video game selection is growing rapidly. The Nerd Store also sells consoles and accessories. The Nerd Store, 807 8th Street in downtown Greeley.
You got a favorite t-shirt, right? Come on, admit it. You've got several. From killer concerts, the Grand Canyon, Vegas, and memories live in them. Create a treasure to remember with Windmill Productions. Years from now, you'll still be thanking Trevor and Kim for the attention to detail and quality that make the memories last a lifetime. Located at 813 East 18th Street, Windmill Productions on Facebook, Windmill Productions 914, or windmillprographics.com. Or give them a call, 970-702-2636.
This Week in Preps Radio.
A 3-game week is on tap for high school football. Thursday night at 6:30, Northridge looks to get a win as they play host to Thompson Valley. Friday night in our game of the week, the playoff-hungry Highland Huskies have an away matchup against Lions at 7. Then on Saturday, join Clark Johnson for Preps Rewind at 10 a.m. Then Dayspring Christian battles it out against Akron to stay in the playoff chase at 1 o'clock. As always, listen live on 1310 KFKA or online at 1310kfka.com.
Matt Rivette started in real estate just in time for the bottom to fall out of the market, and it turns out it was a good time to start. From day one, Matt Rivette had to do it right. Serve the client. Turn for sale into sold. 32 years later, we know market conditions will change, but Matt Rivette's commitment to you won't. This is a good time to get to know Matt Rivette at Pro Realty. List your commercial, income, or residential property with Matt Rivette. Call Matt Rivette at 970-356-1234 or go to ProRealtyHomes.com.
What may be junk to you just might be another man's treasure. From stamps, sports memorabilia, silverware, or old jewelry, what may be junk to you just might be another man's treasures. Located at 2002 9th Street in Greeley, Another Man's Treasures can take these old items and convert them into cold, hard cash. Located at 2002 9th Street, remember, another man's treasure.
So you think the Pawn Stars are in Vegas, huh? Have you been to City National Pawn? 3301 West 10th Street in Greeley, and you're the Pawn Star. With great deals on commercial and industrial tools, electronics, smartphones, laptops, and fine jewelry, so many great deals and a constantly changing inventory guarantee you get the best deal in town at City National Pawn. Need quick cash fast? City National Pawn has got you covered there too. Monday through Friday and Saturdays, remember, you're the Pawn Star at City National Pawn, 3301 West 10th Street in Greeley.
Hate him? Want him to go away? Yeah! Email HR at 1310kfka.com. In the meantime, back to the Scooter McGee Show.
Be guided by what he says. It's your only hope.
Welcome back, Gotham. We've got a lot to cover still, and let's try and get it all into this break here with Joe Lanier from the Conspiracy Keepers. ConspiracyKeepers.com or theconspiracyzone.org as we wrap up, sadly, for 10-12 headlines, 10-13. Obviously, false flag alert. The occultists are playing their games with their numbers, et cetera, but Joe, I want to let you have at least 10 of this segment, and then if we want to go a quick break and then just do on this day a 3-minute break, and then you're out.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, well, I want to add what I have, because I may, with my website and all things that we've done, I love firsthand information. So if I can come in contact with somebody that has firsthand information that actually witnessed these events, it's like, that's the person that I want to talk to. That's the person that I want on our show. And we've done that a lot. So the things that I bring up, that we bring up, are not hearsay. They are people that have firsthand knowledge of this going on. But I want people to know, our listeners, that these people that I have talked about, whether it be Victoria Valentino or Fauna McLaren, I am not divulging something that's secret to them. They want their story out.
Correct. No one wants to report it.
They're not getting mainstream media, so I'm helping them. I mean, they want their names out there. They want to have their story told. So I'm not in any way divulging secrets. Now, that said, both of them have said a few things to me that they don't want me to discuss, which I won't do. But the main story is they're okay with their names being out there. They want their story out there, and the mainstream media isn't covering it. So that's what we want this radio show to be about. Now, shifting gears a little bit, I want to go to what's going on in California right now, which is another geoengineering storm. And once again, you can't take this world and do the hurricanes, which is the floods, without there being a backlash on the other coast. So these things are all planned. They're all done by these weather wars. They're all done by the globalists who want to destroy the current world order and establish their new world order. And they all do the same thing with numerology. So we've got this geoengineering fire going on on the left coast, in California. And we've got multiple fires pretty much out of nowhere. I mean, something didn't happen, and they just started. These fires got out of control. They just started pretty much out of nowhere. So we've got these 21 major fires, and here we've got the numerology going again. They all erupted about 11:30, about the same time, simultaneously about 300 square miles. I mean, people, come on. This just doesn't happen. We see these hurricanes happening again and again, guided, and we see the backlash on the West Coast. I mean, it doesn't take much to figure out what's going on right here. Okay, so we've got wind gusts of 50 miles an hour. 50 miles an hour. That's nearly tropical storm force. In California?
Correct.
At 11:30 at night? 300 square miles. I mean, come on. Are you kidding me? You can't see that this is not orchestrated? Right now, and I looked at this I would say less than an hour and a half ago.
And I don't want to
31 people dead. I'm guessing that's going to go up to 33. We're going to see these same numbers again and again and again.
Oh,
And
last week. Yes, you got off the air, and then we had the attack overseas with the machete knifing guy killing 33.
Yeah, I know.
We weren't off the air 48 hours.
I know. I mean, it's just like, it gets so aggravating to me because the Illuminists think that we're so stupid, and, some of us have caught on to it, but they don't even need to change their game because they keep doing the same thing again and again and again, and people just don't get it. So I see 31 people died within about the last hour and a half. There might be more now. So, and here it is again. And we see these news stories. This exceeds the deaths in California, which were the most in what year? In 1933, the Griffith Park fires. There's that 33 again. So we see this numerology again and again and again and again.
And again, the headlines will be fully encapsulated tomorrow, Friday the 13th.
Yeah, yes, you're right. And by the way, I expect that death toll to go up to 33 tomorrow.
Okay. Now, having said that, essentially middle of the month, now years past, I know you followed the market on a regular basis.
Mm-hmm.
I was very afraid that Wednesday, 10-11, as I expressed with you, 10-11-17 would be the trigger event. And yet that doesn't mean that tomorrow doesn't start the financial collapse. We don't know what's going to start it.
Yeah.
But where do you see the economy playing in, if at all, in this between now and the next time we talk next week?
It's so hard to say because they are so deceptive in their methods. It's very difficult to discern what they're doing. Like, for instance, if we see a clue on The Simpsons about 9/11, which we've seen, it almost doesn't make any sense until after it's happened.
Mm-hmm.
So once we see it come up, it's like, wow, what does that mean? But so they're very good at disguising their methods until after it's happened, then we can go back and see that they've done it. But I know that the mark of the Dow Jones is as high than it's ever been. It's going to collapse.
Today,
let me give you something that happened with Mandalay Bay.
Okay.
And Mandalay Bay is owned by MGM.
Yep.
So we've seen the same thing as far as like 9/11. So we know that American Airlines and United Airlines, that the stocks were going to go down. So they were shorted big time just before the events of 9/11. So we knew, the powerful people knew this was going to happen. So when you short a stock, that means you know it's going to go down. So if the stock is at $10 and you know some tragedy is going to happen, it goes down to $2, then you get that profit for people who have shorted that stock. Now here's the interesting thing that happened with Mandalay Bay, which is owned by MGM. They didn't short the stock, they just sold it.
Correct.
Before it happened. And this happened a few weeks before the tragedy of Mandalay Bay. Or it's not a false flag, whatever you want to call it. So they just sold it. They didn't short it, which means to me they weren't exactly sure that the stock was going to collapse down to zero. They just knew there was enough to where if the stock is going to go down, they sold their stocks, and it was going to go down enough to where they're going to buy it back. And I actually looked at that stock today. It didn't go down that much.
It did not.
It went down a few bucks.
Correct.
But what they did, they just bought it back because they knew it wasn't going to collapse completely. They just knew it was going to go down. So they sold their stocks, and they're going to buy it back at a cheaper rate. 9/11 was a different issue altogether. That's the first time we've seen it. So we didn't see the United Airlines go down to nothing. So that's why they shorted that stock, and that's why they just sold the stocks as far as the Mandalay Bay. And I hope that makes sense to people because, I'm talking a lot about things that you might not have thought about before, but we're showing you that these things are predicted, and they knew they were going to happen.
No, and again, and even in the Hollywood, the James Bond remake Casino Royale, pointing out that exactly when M was telling, I forget that actor who plays the guy now, but in Casino Royale, but just as they retrace the stock market shorts of 9/11. That's
Yes, right.
how they were knowing that something was up, because this stock had just been massively shorted, and it was the announcement of a new airline product, and they were going to deliberately blow it up and make a lot of money for the drug cartels and the money launderers and the bankers and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And James Bond got in the way.
Right.
Now we have to kill him.
I know.
Good luck.
I know.
Good luck.
So, wow, we've talked about a lot of stuff tonight, and
Yes,
I know our listeners, I mean, some of them are new, some of them are not. I know we've talked about a lot of things. There's a lot to digest. But
and we
one
are
thing I hope that our listeners will see is you see a pattern every time we talk about this, and which is bigger than us.
Again, nothing in government happens by coincidence.
Exactly.
And no coincidence, Joe. So it's quarter after. Why don't we just do a quick 2:30 break? We'll come back. We'll do On This Day, which is 3:31. Then we'll cut you loose.
Okay, that'd be great.
All right. So let me do this. Okay, that didn't work. We'll try this one.
Okay.
Yes, live from the Pro Realty Old Town Studios. Yes, the reformat 11/13. That'll be Monday, November 13th for Quantum News Network production of Scooter McGee Show. We're going to stay live at 1310 KFKA. Show's just growing into newer markets. Yes, a quick 2:30. Let me just double check. It's a 3. And then we'll be back with On This Day in Illuminati History. Guys, reformat next hour. Shallow Moments goes to the back end. And we'll kick off headlines for Friday the 13th, 2017.
Become a friend of Scooter McGee or like the Scooter McGee Show page. More of the Scooter McGee Show in a moment.
Have the time of your life at the Union Colony Civic Center in Greeley, October 17th and 18th at 7 p.m. with the classic story Dirty Dancing. The film you remember is brought to life on stage. Don't miss the unprecedented live experience, exploding with heart-pounding music, passionate romance, and sensational dancing. Dirty Dancing live at the Union Colony Civic Center in Greeley, October 17th and 18th at 7 p.m. For tickets and more information, call 970-356-5000 or go online at ucstars.com.
So you think the Pawn Stars are in Vegas, huh? Have you been to City National Pawn? 3301 West 10th Street in Greeley, and you're the Pawn Star. With great deals on commercial and industrial tools, electronics, smartphones, laptops, and fine jewelry. So many great deals and a constantly changing inventory guarantee you get the best deal in town at City National Pawn. Need quick cash fast? City National Pawn has got you covered there too. Monday through Friday and Saturdays, remember, you're the Pawn Star at City National Pawn, 3301 West 10th Street in Greeley.
Did you know that 1 in 4 people are affected by anxiety, depression, or other mental illness? Many others and their families also suffer from addiction. That means that you or someone you love may be searching for help. North Range Behavioral Health serves children, adults, and families, and our crisis services at 928 12th Street in Greeley are open 24/7. In Northern Weld County, call 970-347-2120. If you're in Southern Weld, call 303-857-2723. Contact us. We're all in this together.
Matt Rivette started in real estate just in time for the bottom to fall out of the market. And it turns out it was a good time to start. From day one, Matt Rivette had to do it right. Serve the client. Turn for sale into sold. 32 years later, we know market conditions will change. But Matt Rivette's commitment to you won't. This is a good time to get to know Matt Rivette at Pro Realty. List your commercial, income, or residential property with Matt Rivette. Call Matt Rivette at 970-356-1234 or go to ProRealtyHomes.com.
It's football season, and that means the Ernest Collins Jr. Show airs Tuesday nights at 6:05 on 1310 KFKA, live from Stuffed Burger Bar on the 9th Street Plaza in downtown Greeley. Join the head coach and me each Tuesday evening as we discuss Bears football. Your questions and comments are welcome on Twitter at UNC Bears Radio, hashtag #AskTheCoach. Find me on Facebook at Troy.Coverdale. Or join Ernest and me at Stuffed Burger Bar in Greeley Tuesdays at 6:05. The Ernest Collins Jr. Show on 1310 KFKA.
You got a favorite t-shirt, right? Come on, admit it. You've got several. From killer concerts, the Grand Canyon, Vegas, and memories live in them. Create a treasure to remember with Windmill Productions. Years from now, you'll still be thanking Trevor and Kim for the attention to detail and quality that make the memories last a lifetime. located at 813 East 18th Street. Windmill Productions on Facebook, Windmill Productions 914, or windmillprographics.com. Or give them a call, 970-702-2636.
The following program is closed captioned for the thinking impaired.
Children of the night, what music they make.
Welcome back, Gotham, as we wrap up hour 2 of a Quantum News Network production and Scooter McGee show. The vignette known as the Conspiracy Keepers. Joe Lanier, myself, Backlash LaRue having an open house. He'll be with us next Thursday night. We'll be live in studio. Joe's joining us on the phone. Welcome back, Joe.
Thank you.
Let's take a look at the headlines for tomorrow. 10:13 as we go back in time. First of all, Joe, 1775, the U.S. Continental Congress now ordering the construction of a naval fleet. Tomorrow, Friday the 13th, the cornerstone of the executive mansion is laid in the District of Criminals. It is later to become known as the White House in 1818. It is on this day, 1812, American forces defeated at the Battle of Queenstown Heights, the British victory effectively ending any further U.S. invasion into Canada. It is on this day, 1854, the state of Texas ratifying their state constitution. Nothing of consequence, Joe, until World War II now. 1943, Italy now signing the armistice with the Allies and declaring war on Germany. So that was the double cross.
Yeah, no doubt.
1944 now, the American troops enter Aachen, Germany. And the atrocities beginning to just, again, the rumors were true. They're just a lot worse than we thought.
Yeah.
On that same day, British and Greek units advance and land at Piraeus. 1951, Joe, in Atlanta, Georgia, a football with a rubber covering was used for the first time. It was in college football, Georgia Tech beating Louisiana State, but the traditional pigskin being switched out.
I wonder if they kneeled.
1957, Bing Crosby and Frank Sinatra introduced the Ford Edsel.
No doubt.
Now, for those who've not seen Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf, the play opened on Broadway 1962. And if anyone knows the world of the sex secrets inside Hollywood, it'd be Elizabeth Taylor. Hosni Mubarak is elected vice president in Egypt 1981 after the assassination of Anwar Sadat. Tomorrow, Friday the 13th, H.W. Bush, 41, calling for the overthrow of Manuel Noriega because Hassanfuss has been shot down now.
Yikes.
The commercial flight record set by Air France's supersonic jet airliners circling the Earth, 33 hours and 1 minute. 1995, Joe, Walt Disney World Resort admitted its 500 millionth guest. Even though we know that Disney World and Disneyland, all of that was created under secret.
Yes.
1999, the Comprehensive Test Ban Treaty was rejected by the U.S. Senate. And Joe, tomorrow, Friday the 13th, in Chile. Remember the 33 miners that were underground?
I do. There's that 33 again.
And, coincidentally, rescued after 69 days.
Yikes.
Multiples of 3.
Yep.
And these are your headlines, which again is why I say I believe tomorrow to be a false flag alert, major alert day in the world of occultism and numerology, and that's a 24-hour window either side.
Yep.
But anything else you'd like to add before we cut you loose?
I would like to add, we've been doing this show for a long time, and I'm not one to really toot our own horns, even though I need to do that in this case. you will not find the information that we have. The first-hand information that we've had, that we've collected, that people have talked to us, not only that I've put out, Scooter has put out, we've had on the phone, you will not find that anywhere else but on this station. I mean, I have developed relationships, like I say, with some of the playmates or whatever, and you won't find it anywhere else. You just will not. I mean, a lot of people think that Alex Jones is our hero. He's not. He's controlled opposition. He's going to lead you down the wrong path. He'll give you 80% of the truth, which is why people are sucked in. But you will not find what we've talked about tonight anywhere else. I am emphatic about that.
And then off the record, I got to call Sam tomorrow because I'm going to come down to Denver this weekend. So what's good for you, Saturday or Sunday for you and Backlash and I sitting down at a table?
Saturday would be great.
Okay.
That would be great.
Yeah. I'll have that figured out here in theory by tomorrow, 3 o'clock. I should.
And Sunday later that night, if you can't do it Saturday, Sunday later, that would be good too.
No, we can either again. I don't want to upset Backlash again. I don't know if he's got events for Friday or Saturday. And,
okay.
But yes, there's going to be huge changes very, very fast.
Well, we need to do that because I'm telling you, it's like the listeners will not get this information anywhere else. I mean, if something happens to us, you're not going to get it. You're not going to get what's going on.
No, again, they want to shut the system. Again, at this point, the Matrix has grown to a point where a lot of people are now not surfing porn. They're looking for truth. They know they're being lied to. They just don't know how big the lie is. And when we try and really expose, I mean, it is so multi-dimensional. I mean, the people we're talking to, most of them don't even understand the rules of three-dimensional chess on the Enterprise. Let alone how deep back thousands and thousands of years this pre-programming of us as a slave species.
I know, and Google is changing their algorithms, and so is YouTube. Because when I first talked about this thing going on in Las Vegas, within a few hours I got 2,000 hits.
Right.
But you know what? Within the next 2 days, it dropped down to 500. So now I know that what they did is they changed the algorithm to where, you know what, you can't go on this site and find the truth anymore. So we've got Google against us now. We've got YouTube against us now. So anything that's going to go out there that's going to be the truth, that they're going to change it to where you can't find it.
Keep going to theconspiracykeepers.com and theconspiracyzone.org.
Yes, because the truth is going to be there.
Joe, I'll see you this weekend, and then we'll see you guys live in studio next week.
Sounds great, Scooter. Always great working with you.
You too, my friend. Stay safe. I'm sorry. Stay safe. And I'll see you here in the next 24.
Very good.
All right. Gotham, we're going to go to the top of the hour, get the news. Special thanks to all the sponsors that make this Bugatti possible. Starting at Matt Rivette Pro Realty Old Town, of course. Carl Moore over at William Moore Jewelers. Ron Widow over at Another Man's Treasures. Everybody up at Greeley Westside Liquor, you got 90 seconds. 353-0036, Greeley and Evans. Get your order in to get it delivered. As we get ready for headlines for tomorrow, 10, 13, 17. And looking for a deal for this weekend for a little hunting. 25% off shotguns at City National Pawn. 30% off laptops. And 40% off the jewelry to keep the ladies happy. Maybe I have learned something after all these years.
Matt Rivette started in real estate just in time for the bottom to fall out of the market.